maging matyaga upang matuto dito sa aking channel, Sir Jones. Good day everyone. Once again, welcome to my channel. Today, we will be discussing expressing one value as a fraction of another, given their ratio and vice versa. Well, this is your week 1 lesson for the second quarter. When you speak of a ratio is a way of comparing two or more quantities having the same units. So, klaro to, two or more quantities having the same units. The quantities may be separate entities or they may be different parts of a whole. So, in naming ratio, you can write this in 3 ways. 1, in word form, 2, in column form, and 3, in fraction form. Pag sinabing word form, gagamit lang kayo ng word na is 2. If it is in colon form, using the colon symbol. And if it is in fraction form, you'll be using the vinculum sign para maging siyang fraction. And speaking of fraction, simplest form is important. Meaning to say, if you are going to write a ratio or if you are going to compare two or more quantities using ratio, dapat see to it na ito ay naka-lowest term. So, if you are ready, let us have our first example. Example number 1. Looking at this figure, we have 10 pentagons and 8 triangles. Therefore, our ratio here is 10 is to 8. Okay? Now, so happen that 10 and 8 are both divisible by 2. Meaning to say, pwede natin siyang i-lowest term. And then, from 10 over 2 and 8 over 2, our new ratio is 5 is to 4. That is in word form, using is 2. And then, for the colon form, papalitan lang natin yung is 2 ng colon symbol. And for the fractional form, papalitan lang natin yung is 2 and colon symbol ng vinculum. So this is our example number 1. Next example, example number 2. If you look at the figures, we have 8 circles and 6 triangles. If you are going to observe 8 and 6, these two are what? Both divisible by 2. So instead of 8 is to 6, this will become what? 8 divided by 2 is 4 and 6 divided by 2 is 3. So our answer for this is 4 is to 3. That is for word form. And once again, para maging colon form, is 2, papalitan ng colon symbol. And then para maging fraction form, yung colon form or colon symbol, papalitan ng vinculum. So, this is it. So, maliwanag na. Okay? Example number 3. We have stars and pentagon. How many stars in all? How many pentagons in all? We have 18 is to 15. Look at 18 and 15. They are what? Both divisible by 3. So in this example, try to answer this. So what is 18 divided by 3? And what is 15 divided by 3? Para sa first blank, that is from 18 divided by 3. And after nung is 2, para makuha naman yung sagot, that is from 15 divided by 3. And from word form, yung is 2, papalitan ng colon symbol para maging colon form. And from colon form, yung colon symbol, papalitan ng vinculum para maging fraction form. Kaya? Kaya. Next, example number 4. 6 weeks to 12 days. If you look at the units, meron kang weeks and days. Magkaiba, di ba? Now, in this example, we knew that 6 weeks is equivalent to 42 days. Bakit naging 42 days? Kasi in a week, meron tayong 7 days. Therefore, 6 times 7 ay 42. That's why 6 weeks equals 42 days. Yan yung sinasabi natin, na in expressing a ratio, dapat they should be of the same units. Hindi tayo basta-basta magsusulat ng ratio, lalo na at magkaiba sila ng units. Okay? Now, from 6 weeks to 12 days, ano ngayon ang magiging tanong? It is now 42 days to 12 days. So, instead of 6 weeks, we'll be using 42 days. Klaro? Okay. Now, observe 42 and 12. So happened that 42 and 12 here are what? Divisible by 6. So what is 42 divided by 6? And what is 12 divided by 6? Of course, 42 divided by 6 is 7, while 12 divided by 6 is 2. Our ratio formed this time is what? 7 is to 2 para sa word form. Then yung is to, palitan ng colon symbol para sa colon form. At yung colon symbol, palitan ng vinculum para sa fraction form. Gets? Okay. Next, example number 5. 10 decimeters to 10 centimeters. If you notice, decimeters, centimeters are of different units. Pagpaparehohin muna natin. Paano? 10 decimeters is equivalent to 100 centimeters. Okay? Now, from our problem, magiging siyang 100 centimeters to 10 centimeters. We replace 10 decimeters here by 100 centimeters. And then, observe, 100 and 10 are both divisible by what? By 10. Yun. So, what is 100 divided by 10? And what is 10 divided by 10? Obvious, 100 divided by 10 is 10, and 10 divided by 10 is 1. Therefore, our answer in this problem is what? 10 is to 1, 10 is to 1, and 10 over 1. Okay? So, again, in word form, use is to. In colon form, use colon symbol. And in fraction form, use a vinculum symbol. Gets? Gets. Example number 6, 4 days to 36 hours. Again, magkaiba ng units, days and hours. In this example, convert 4 days into hours. And it is clearly stated here that 4 days is equivalent to 96 hours. Bakit 96 hours? In a day, meron tayong 24 hours. Ibig sabihin, 24 times 4 equals 96. Okay? From the problem, magiging na siyang 96 hours to 36 hours. Ibig sabihin, instead of 4 days, we'll be using 96 hours para maging hours to hours. Magkatulad sila ng units. Okay? Now, observe 96 and 36. Ito ay divisible by 12. What is 96 divided by 12? And what is 36 divided by 12? So, kayo na ang mag-solve. 96 divided by 12 is to 36 divided by 12. And then, same answer. Instead of is to, pinalitan ng colon form. And then again, same answer, pinalitan ng vinculum symbol. Kayang-kaya nyo to. Okay? Next, example number 7. 4 months to 8 weeks. Months, weeks, magkaiba. Meaning, mag-convert muna ulit tayo. 4 months is equivalent to 16 weeks. Bakit naging 16 weeks? In a month, meron tayong 4 weeks. 4 times 4 equals 16. Now, from the problem, magiging na siyang 16 weeks to 8 weeks. So, instead of 4 months, we'll be using 16 weeks. Again, observe 16 and 8. Pareho silang divisible by 8. Kaya niyong isolve ang 16 divided by 8 and 8 divided by 8. Tama? If yes, then you can write your answer dito sa baba. Okay? 16 divided by 8 para sa unang sagot is to 8 divided by 8 para sa pangalawang sagot. Then your answer in is to, palitan lang ng colon form, colon symbol, and palitan ng vinculum, kompleto na ulit ang inyong kasagutan. Next, example number 8. 30 seconds to 6 minutes. Seconds, minutes. I-convert muna natin ang isa. 6 minutes is equivalent to 360 seconds. Bakit? In a minute, meron tayong 60 seconds. And 60 times 6 is equivalent to 360. Therefore, our new problem now is 30 seconds to 360 seconds. So instead of 6 minutes, ginamit na natin yung 360 seconds. Again, observe 30 and 360 are what? Both divisible by 30. What is 30 divided by 30 and 360 divided by 30? Yun ang inyong magiging sagot dito sa problem number 8. Next, problem number 9. 24 girls to 16 boys. If you look at the given, girls and boys, hindi natin yan mapapagtulad na girls at hindi rin natin mapapagtulad na boys. Meaning to say, different entities na tayo na kung saan pareho namang tao ang pinag-uusapan. If that is our case, simply observe 24 and 16. Meron ba silang common divisor? Kung meron, ano kaya? So, ang common divisor ay 8. So, what is 24 divided by 8? And what is 16 divided by 8? For this will be your answer on this problem number 9. Next problem, number 10. 12 mangoes to 36 fruits. We know that mango is a fruit. So, no need to convert. Pwede na tayong mag-direct. So, observe 12 and 36. Both divisible by 12. So, what is 12 divided by 12? And what is 36 divided by 12? So, yun ang sagot sa example number 10. Next, example number 11. 2 years to 36 months. Yun. Years, months. Pwede natin i-convert ang years into months. Okay? Paano? 2 years is equivalent to 24 months. Tama? Bakit? In a year, meron tayong 12 months. So, from the original problem, magiging na siyang 24 months to 36 months. Okay? Instead of 2 years, ang ginamit ko dito ay 24 months. Then, observe 24 and 36. So, obviously, sila ay divisible by 12. What is 24 divided by 12? And what is 36 divided by 12? Para makuha nyo ang sagot dito sa number 11. By the way, kung ayaw nyo i-convert yung years into months, pwede nyo namang i-convert dito yung months into years. Kung saan, yung 36 months is equivalent to 3 years. Bakit? 36 divided by 12 naman ang mangyayari. Okay? Para makuha nyo yung number of years. Uy, para masabi ko na ang sagot dito sa number 11. Ano nga ulit ang 36 months? 36 months is equivalent to 3 years. Bakit? 36 divided by 12 is 3. Therefore, anong sagot sa number 11? Yun. Kung naintindihan, ayos. Kung hindi, solve. Okay? So, next, example number 12. 45 points to 9 game. So, points in a game. Kahit hindi na natin i-convert, pwede na tayong mag-proceed directly. Paano? Observe 45 and 9. Itong dalawa ay divisible by 9. So, what is 45 divided by 9? And what is 9 divided by 9? Masasagot nyo itong sample number 12. Next, example number 13. 468 students for 9 classrooms. So, students and classrooms, kahit hindi na natin i-convert kasi never na magkakatulad ang student na magiging classroom at ang classroom magiging student. So, pwede na, direct na tayong magsasolve. 468 and 9, both divisible by 9. So, what is 468 divided by 9 and what is 9 divided by 9? So, masasagot nyo yung ating example number 13. Okay? Nakakasunod? Ayos. Two ratios that have the same value are called equivalent ratios. And to find an equivalent ratio, multiply or divide both quantities by the same number. Meaning to say, kapag i-multiply mo ang numerator, let's say sa 2, yung denominator, i-multiply mo rin sa 2. Kaya nga, same number. Okay? And speaking of equivalent ratios, this of course is the same as equivalent fractions. Kung maalam kang kumuha ng equivalent fractions, then you can also get this what you call equivalent ratios. Okay? Example, write at least 3 equivalent ratio of 2/4 or 2/4. If you notice, 2 and 4 here are what? Both divisible by 2. So, pwede nating i-lowest term ang 2/4. And this will become what? 1/2 or 1/2. So, 2/4 and 1/2 are equivalent ratios. Okay? Now, isa pa lang ang nakuha natin. Paano yung pangalawa? Since you have this 1/2 or 1/2, kapag i-multiply siya sa 2/2, will give us 2/4. So, babalik lang tayo dun sa problem. That's why, instead of 2/2, let us multiply 1/2 by 3/3. Or, kung halimbawa, ayaw mo ng 1/2 at ang gusto mong gamitin ay yung 2/4, edi pwede namang i-multiply siya sa 3/3. But in this case, ang ginawa ng sir, 1/2 times 3/3. Since 1 times 3 is 3, and 2 times 3 is 6, my next ratio is 3/6 or 3:6. Okay? So 1/2, 3/6, and 2/4 are equivalent ratios. Now, another thing is, from 1/2, we can multiply this by 4/4. Kung kanina, i-multiply ko siya sa 3/3, pwede naman siya sa 4/4. So, what is 1/2 times 4/4? The answer is 4/8. Okay? Or 4:8. Dahil ratio nga pala ang ating pinag-uusapan. So, in this problem, yung 2:4 is equivalent to 1:2, which is also equivalent to 3:6, so as to 4:8. So, those are equivalent ratios. But then again, sabi nga ng sir, kung ayaw mo yung 1/2 ang i-multiply ng 3/3 at yung 1/2 ay i-multiply ng 4/4, pwede nga i-multiply mo ay yung original given na 2:4. So, gets natin yan. Okay? Now, let us have another example. 5/10. If you look at 5:10, both divisible by 5. So, what is 5 divided by 5 and 10 divided by 5? The new ratio is 1:2. So, instead of 5:10, it is now 1:2. And again, we can multiply this 1:2 by 2/2. What is 1:2 times 2/2? So, I hope you can answer this. Tama? 1 times 2/2 times 2. Then, after multiplying 1/2 or 1:2 by 2/2, multiply it by 3 over 3. Meaning, 1 is to 2 times 3 over 3. And again, alam kong kaya nyong isolve yung 1/2 times 3 over 3. Okay? Next, 4 is to 5 or 4/5. If you notice, 4/5 are already what? Written in its lowest term. So, wala na tayong pwedeng ipang divide. Therefore, from 4/5, we can multiply this by 2 over 2. Or yung 4 is to 5, pwede mong i-multiply sa 2 over 2. And I guess, kayang-kaya nyong i-multiply yung 4 over 5 times 2 over 2. So, what's next? Multiply 4 is to 5 by 3 over 3. Okay? So, kaya. And lastly, multiply 4 is to 5 or 4 over 5 by 4 over 4. And again, alam ko naman kaya nyo itong gawin. Ayos? Ayos. Next, we have 3 is to 9 or 3 over 9. If you look at 3 and 9, they are what? Both divisible by 3. So we can simplify 3/9 by what? 1/3 or 1 is to 3. So your new ratio 1 is to 3, i-multiply siya sa 2 over 2 to get another ratio. Okay? And then 1 is to 3 is to be multiplied by 3 over 3. Bakit tayo nag-jump? Kasi nga, sabi natin, okay, so, of course, you can multiply this by 4 over 4, 5 over 5, 6 over 6, and so on. So, kaya-kaya natin yon. Tama? And then, next problem is 2 is to 5 or 2 over 5. So, no common divisor, therefore multiply it by 2 over 2 to get a new ratio. And then 2 over 5 or 2 is to 5 is to be multiplied by 3 over 3 to get another ratio equivalent to it. Yun ang ating target. And lastly, multiply 2 is to 5 by 4 over 4 to get the last ratio. So, in this case, if you notice, answers may vary. Depende sa inyong kagustuhan. Make it sure lang na ang ipinamumultiply nyo ay pareho ang numerator at denominator. And if you notice, kung mapapansin nyo, dahil pareho ang numerator and denominator, para ka lang nagmumultiply sa 1. Okay? Next, we have 8 is to 10. Look at 8 and 10. Pareho silang divisible by 2. So, what is 8 divided by 2 and 10 divided by 2? Of course, the answer is 4 is to 5. That is our new ratio. So, from our new ratio, 4 is to 5, kapag i-multiply sa 2 over 2, balik ka sa 8 is to 10. That's why, instead of 2 over 2, i-multiply natin yung 4 is to 5 by 3 over 3 to get another ratio. And then, continue by 4 over 4 to get the next ratio. Or kung gusto mo mas marami, 5 over 5, 6 over 6, and so on. So, ganyan ang pagkuha ng equivalent ratio. By the way, dun sa 3 is to 9, ito yung 3 over 9, na i-multiply ko yata dito yung 1/3 by 3 over 3. So, if you notice, babalik ka ulit sa 3 is to 9. So, makikisuyo ang sir. Instead of multiplying 1/3 by 3 over 3, replace it by 4 over 4. So, ang magiging last ratio natin doon ay 1/3 times 4 over 4 instead of 3 over 3. Ayos? Salamat! Next example, we have 3 is to 5. So, no common divisor at all. Therefore, let us multiply this by 2 over 2 to get an equivalent ratio. Then, after multiplying it by 2 over 2, you can multiply it by 3 over 3 to get another ratio. And lastly, by 4 over 4 to get the next equivalent ratio. Di ba ang dali? Nakakasunod. Okay. Next given, we have 2 is to 8 or 2 over 8. As we knew, 2 and 8 are both divisible by 2. So instead of 2 is to 8, this will become what? 1 is to 4. So in my lowest term na ulit natin. From 1 is to 4, once multiplied by 2 over 2, babalik ka sa 2 over 8. That's why, i-multiply natin siya by 3 over 3. Okay? And then, after this, makukuha mo yung sagot, multiply ulit natin yung 1/4 or 1 is to 4 by 4 over 4 to get the next answer. So, nakukompleto natin yung ating learning task dito sa lesson na ito. Okay? And then, we have 3 over 7 or 3 is to 7. No common divisor at all. Therefore, let us multiply 3 over 7 by 2 over 2 to get its equivalent ratio. And then after this, by 3 over 3 to get another equivalent ratio. And lastly, by 4 over 4 to get our last answer. But again, pwedeng 5 over 5, 6 over 6, o kung saan nyo gusto. Basta see to it na yung numerator and denominator are the same. So, pwedeng after na may lowest term, pwede rin namang hindi from the original given. Next, we have 6 is to 8 or 6 over 8. So, there is a common divisor dun sa 6 and 8 kung saan pwede siyang i-divide by 2. So, instead of 6 is to 8, magiging na siyang 3 is to 4 or 3 over 4. Kapag i-multiply yung 3 over 4 or 3 is to 4 by 2 over 2, babalik ka sa 6 is to 8. So, i-multiply natin yung 3 is to 4 by 3 over 3. Or sabi nga ng sir, kung ayaw mo ng 3 is to 4, you can use 6 is to 8. Tapos, i-multiply mo siya sa 3 over 3. Walang problema. Tama pa rin ang inyong magiging kasagutan. And then, 3 is to 4, i-multiply natin by 4 over 4 to get the next equivalent ratio. So, this is it. Ito yung way on how we can get equivalent ratios out of a given ratio. So, sana natutunan nyo kung paano kunin ito. Maraming salamat! Muli po, maraming salamat sa inyong matiyagang pakikinig upang matuto dito sa aking channel, Sir Joel. But please do not forget to click like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell button for more notifications. Thank you, thank you!